gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. It's been 3 weeks since we've done
Yeah,
this.
man. We rock right through that holiday season, right?
That's right. Christmas, New Year's, like boom, and they both landed on Thursdays. So,
I know.
like we've been MIA for a little bit, but you know what? It was a good little refresher. So,
It was. I caught my breath. I'm right back at the grind for the new year. We're killing it over here,
That's right.
and we're back on our schedule. I'm very happy to be on tonight.
Me
A lot
too.
going on, huh? A lot of
Dude,
crazy stuff going on.
So much crazy stuff, and I think we just need let's just come out right off the rip, and super sad and unfortunate to hear about Bren.
Yeah,
Nobody expected it to happen like that. I mean,
highly
the
unexpected.
conversations we had, it sounded like he expected it to come at some point, but not this quick, right?
I spoke to him right before Christmas, and he was not feeling great, but he was not like spiraling sick. He was just kind of like, I just didn't have a great week. But he was sick. Bren had stage 4 liver cancer, so he was not well. But the doctors were telling him he had, I don't know, it sounded like a year to 3 years, maybe.
The lowest I heard him say was 6 months, and then
That was without treatment. That was without,
like-
and he was getting the treatment. So
right, and they said up to like 3 or 4 years. So
I thought he had a little role ahead of him, and that was it just happened suddenly. I guess they said he got sick on Christmas. He was ill, and he took ill, and then New Year's Day he passed. So,
right.
I mean, obviously we lost an industry titan. He was definitely a trailblazer. The founder of GutterCon. He did a lot of great things for a lot of people. I had a great relationship with him. He was a kind-hearted, gentle soul.
Yep. Very much.
And I mean, just one little blurb on him to speak on his personality. I remember at the first GutterCon, and it was this big to-do to get it together, and I was communicating a lot with him and supporting his efforts during that. We were back and forth on the phone. I was a vendor there and a speaker, and so we were engaging a lot. And so there was this big build-up, and we all get there. You were there.
Yep.
And he gets on stage for the very first time to the industry audience, and he froze up.
Literally just couldn't say anything.
He locked up. He just had no words, and he just saw, he went blank, and it was like a 20-second, 30-second freeze up.
Yep.
And he just got very emotional because it was it was happening. It was there.
Right.
And the guy just was like a bleeding heart,
Yep. Very much so.
So I have a lot of memories like that. It's very sad to see him go. For his family, if any of you are tuning in, obviously our sincerest condolences. He will be missed.
Yep.
The show is, I don't know the situation with the show. I'm trying to follow all of this. I know they were trying to salvage it. The family did make an announcement just a few days ago, and I posted that to follow. I reposted their post that it was canceled.
Yep.
And then I know some of our associates in the industry are trying to still put something together. I'm going to be out in Vegas. I know you are.
Yep.
I have already earmarked plans to see other folks that'll be out there. I look forward to seeing people. I know that there are. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it looks like there's some groups trying to get together, maybe in the name of GutterCon, to kind of in the spirit of. Those of you that may be listening that are putting those groups together, great. Please post often and clearly and succinctly with the data, who, where, what, why, how. Is there monetization involved? Is there a cost? Let's just get some clarity and get it pumping with the right info so that anybody that's going to be out there can attend.
That's it. Yeah. I know, I'm bringing 10. Well, there's 10 of us total coming out there from my business. So we rented a big Airbnb. We got a pool lounge and outdoor patio and all that stuff. So we fully plan on, I've already ordered the whiteboard, and we plan on masterminding a lot out there. We're going to IRE the first few days.
I'll be there.
People there. So I know a couple evenings we'll be doing a mastermind, smoking stogies and whatnot
Very cool.
at our Airbnb. So feel free to message me if you already got plans to be out there. We'd love to meet you. So.
Same goes for me. I have posted on that. I have some clients that are going to be meeting me and connecting for some one-on-one time. And then those of you that don't know me or have not worked with me direct, there's no I'm always an open book. I take calls all the time. There's no fee. Sit down, let's talk. Just connect with me, DM me. I'd be happy to meet and greet and break bread, have a sit down, have a snack, a drink, whatever. Love to meet folks. So don't be shy. All right, man. So we have a very interesting guest. We just were talking to him in the green room. Very fired up. I like his energy, and I also like the industry he's in. Want to tell the folks at home what we have?
He's not at all an industry normal person. Like when you think of this industry, you do not think of my friend Dan. All right, like and who he is as a human being. All right. So Dan is a bookkeeper. All right. He has best Dan bookkeeping, and he does the books for my businesses. He does it for One Way Exteriors, for my real estate rental, my commercial real estate, and Gutter Launch. So he does all my books, and but the dude is everything that is man. Like he is all hunting, fishing, everything.
Let's put it this way. These guys were talking about deer anuses when I jumped on.
All right. We're talking about deer anuses. All right, come
on. I was taking notes. It was an incredible conversation.
Yeah. All right. So, well, let's bring my boy Dan out. So, everybody, Dan Plata.
Like, who's not talking about deer in it?
I know, man.
Isn't this
clearly I'm just not in the cool kid crew?
Yeah. Where you been, Frank? Where you been?
I'm trying to catch up.
I get it.
So, well, Dan, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. We booked you about a month ago, and there's something that's just really unique about you in this industry. Bookkeeping isn't sexy. All right. Like it's not the sexiest thing in the world. And most gutter guys, they despise talking about it.
They're horrible at it too.
They're horrible.
That's the thing. I want to be somewhere where everything is really ugly because I'm looking for a low bar. I can just step right over.
That's right.
Isn't that why we all got into rain gutters in the first place?
Right. Yeah. Like those that don't know, Dan, you can cheers that. All right. He's drinking a Busch latte right now.
Got a latte over here. Yeah.
All right. So every time he has his own podcast on Wednesday nights, and it's the beer, bookkeeping, and BS.
Home Service Happy Hour. We rebranded it to Home Service Happy Hour.
Oh, okay. But it used to be like bookkeeping, beer, and BS or something.
Bookkeeping, beer, and BS. And I was like, oh, man, I lose everybody at the word bookkeeping. So let's rebrand this thing and just talk about happy hour. It's happy hour all the time, man.
There you go. Bless you, Colin.
Thank you.
Your camera went with that sneeze. Did you?
I know, dude. I don't know how to shut it off. I bought one of those smart cameras, and I don't know how to shut it off. So.
Follows you everywhere.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I could. Oh,
he tried to throw it.
Oh man, we jinxed it.
I broke it. Let's go. The sneeze got it. So, but anyways, where I was going with this is I don't want to say you've made it sexy because I'm not like in love with bookkeeping, but you made it simple, easy to understand, and important to me. And I think that's the way that you portray it and the way you speak about it. I don't know. You're like a common man. You love everything that is man and working with your hands. And so I don't know. You're just not. You don't talk over my head when we talk about books.
Yeah, so. I'm a weirdo when it comes to bookkeeping. I agree that like when somebody says bookkeeping, you think of like a fat old lady in a dark basement. You don't think of like Dan with a beer in his hand with turkey on the wall behind him.
That's right. No,
it's different. It's shocking.
You don't. Right.
So, I mean, Dan, are you doing the bookkeeping yourself, or you got a team? Or
I'd be the worst bookkeeper in the world.
You got me worried there for a second.
No, we got. I mean, and I mentioned this earlier before we jumped on, but Best Damn Bookkeeping is 2 years old. It's kind of like version 2.0 for me. I built a bookkeeping business, but I kind of stupidly did it in like a different partnership with other businesses.
Okay.
Tried to buy it, didn't go well, whatever. So restarted 2 years ago, and I think we're up to. I hired 2 people today that start on Monday. That
Excellent.
I recruited them like well over a year ago. I also own part of a recruiting company, so I'm really anal about recruiting.
That's brilliant. One hand
so,
washes the other with that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are at 24 people on our team in 2 years.
Wow,
so
phenomenal!
Dude,
it's like
killing.
So we're flying.
How many accounts can one bookkeeper handle?
I will, like, in our business model, we assign a bookkeeper and an account manager to everybody. And it's just kind of like, there's just a couple different skill sets in how you actually execute the bookkeeping. And again, I'm a little bit of a weirdo because I also have owned and operated window cleaning companies and pressure washing and maid service. And so I don't think like your normal nerdy accountant. Like, I think like a small business owner.
right.
And so
that's brilliant. That's how you relate to clients.
Yeah. And bookkeeping to me is Colin kind of defined it, like, it's not sexy, because when we say bookkeeping, we think of like categorizing and reconciling stuff in QuickBooks. I don't think that's sexy either. But if we do it right, and we can spin some finance stuff into it with some analysis of now what. So here's what our data says. Now what? Like, it's our most powerful tool in our business. Because at the end of the day, no matter what business you're in, if you're installing gutters, if you're installing siding, if you're doing HVAC, if you're picking up dog shit, you are you are just in the business of making decisions. If you're scaling your business and being a true like owner of a business, you are only in the business of making decisions. It really doesn't matter what the business does.
Yeah.
You make decisions with your financials. You don't make decisions with anything else. Even when it's fluffy, like employee engagement, people related decisions, everything has to have an ROI.
Right.
And so like, this is our tool as business owners. This is our tool. And so when you get the bookkeeping right and you have the right resources to help you read it and make decisions with it, well, like, now it starts to get pretty fun. So
right.
like spin it that way. To me, it's more of a finance thing than an accounting thing.
So not even a play on the name. I mean, I love the name, by the way, but just kind of playing devil's advocate. What would be good bookkeeping for like the newbies out there? What would we deem good bookkeeping, and what is bad? What does bad bookkeeping look like? You know, how do we differentiate as a startup? Something that's trying to figure out how to get this done.
There's 2 pieces to it. One is communication, and the second is industry expertise. There's a funny like assumption that your bookkeeper or your accountant should be somebody local to you, and I have never found geography to be relevant to any of our businesses. Like, it doesn't matter if your bookkeeper can talk to you about the weather.
Just need to understand what the numbers are and what I'm spending my money on.
Yeah, it's so much more important if they understand your industry. It doesn't matter if they understand your geography. So having somebody that actually knows your industry and so therefore can like help you with the analysis of what does the data mean, not just prepare the data, but help you understand what it means and what to do with it. And I'd say the second thing, like I said, is communication. If your bookkeeper sucks at communicating, your books will suck because they're going to make shitty assumptions, and they're going to like, our policy is we check in with every client every single week, no matter what, even if we don't have questions.
They do, and it's annoying because I have 3 different books, and so I get like boom, 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 and I'm like, which one is this? Which one is this? Which question are they asking?
We got to hold this guy accountable. He's a cowboy. We got to hold this cowboy.
Yeah, you worry about that hat. You don't know what's going on.
Right. But like, if it's done weekly, what I find, and like, it's very intentional that we do it weekly. It's not just for fun. It's not just to bug Colin. But if we do it weekly, and we say, hey, Colin, what was that thing you bought on Amazon last week in this business? He's going to remember what it was.
That's right.
If I said, hey, Colin.
Yeah, timeliness.
Right. You spent $300 on Amazon last month. What was that for? He's gonna be like, I don't know. I got to go look. Right. And then he's going to go look, and then he's going to forget that we even asked him a question. And then another month goes by and we'll be like, hey, what was that $300 you spent 2 months ago now? And so
I'm going to do is actually forget to look at that, buy something else for $300, and then I'm going to get asked that again the next month.
Right? Yes. You'd be like, oh, I think it was this.
Well, that's just it, right? It's sort of reverse training the bookkeeper to understand what that type of purchase is, so that the next time that type of purchase comes up, they know what bucket to drop it in. You know,
exactly.
It's the same thing again. I can identify that. But now I'm mad. Now I'm mad that my bookkeeper doesn't call me weekly and ask me these questions.
Right. And instead, when they hit you up monthly, it's like 10 questions instead of just like 2 or 3. And then and then you're like, ugh. Like, then it feels like something, versus if you just get a text with a few questions, it's like boop, 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 done.
Right.
So it's just one of our core values is efficiency. Like, it's super core to me. And again, it probably comes from running home service companies and like really watching our production rates and everything, I guess. And actually, I pay our bookkeepers and our account managers production-based pay. They're like performance-based pay. They have to be efficient. They have to produce.
Right.
And so efficiency is so important because you guys don't have time to like sit and answer our questions all day, right? Like you guys have businesses to run. Right. I can't afford to pay people to sit around and chase you around all day. So it has to be as the most efficient use of your time and the most efficient use of our time that helps us keep our pricing down. And I always tell people like on our team and our clients, never get caught doing bookkeeping for the sake of bookkeeping. Because truly your employees, your employees don't care about your books and your clients don't care about your books. The one person that cares, the one like you and your leadership team care about your books, and that's about it. And yet, like all day, we spend obsessing about our employees and our clients, and they don't even care about our books, right? So it's as business owners, it's naturally like the number one thing we will procrastinate on because the fires that we have don't give a shit about our books. Right. So it's like it's not Colin's job to chase us around to manage his books. It's our job to chase Colin around because we know he's got customers and he's got employees. He's got other stuff that he's got to do in fires that he has to tend to.
Right.
So we have to make it like as fast and easy as possible so that we can
letting us do a good job. People are loving you. You're getting like we're getting a lot of interaction.
Colin, if you want to start with Christian Ruff, he's from the top.
Yep. So I've got a few questions. First and foremost, and we'll cover this again at the end. How do people get in touch with Best Damn Bookkeeping? What's the best way for them to do that?
Should we put it in the comments? Go to www.bestdamnbookkeeping.com. That's damn like a swear word because I'm edgy.
Because it is. Because it is one.
Yeah. Bestdamnbookkeeping.com. And remember, bookkeeping's got 2 O's, 2 K's, and 2 E's because, of course, like an accountant.
I got the link here. I'm going to drop it on Facebook.
Well, it's right under your name, Dan. We have a name tag on you.
Yeah, you got it. So go to our website. If you want to like nerd out on business with me, there's a link to my calendar on there. You can grab an hour with me and we can talk nerdy bookkeeping stuff. But check that out. You can find me on Facebook, Dan Plata, although Facebook sucks, so I try to avoid it. But I do run my podcast out there, and you can always find Home Service Happy Hour, like it's Spotify, it's on Apple, it's on YouTube, Home Service Happy Hour, whatever. You'll find it.
Cool. Okay, so that's that first one. Second one, how do you do all this communication with your customers? Is it phone, text, email? That was one of the questions here. How do you do all this communication?
It depends on the client because communication is finicky, and we actually have a communication hierarchy. The last two, I believe, it ends in passenger pigeon and singing telegram. That's literally in our handbook. That's in our handbook. I
enjoy smoke signals.
I'm going to send a singing telegram to like, there's been a couple clients that we had to fire, and I was really close to sending them a singing telegram to fire them. Oh my God.
That's savage.
So fun. But like whether we use, email's nice to document stuff, but we're working with small business owners. Most of us as small business owners suck at checking our email unless we have an admin that checks it for us. Like that's glorious. But like we will email stuff to document it because then we can point back to it and say like this needs to be in writing. But so often it's like we'll text a client to be like, hey, sent you an email. Check your email.
Yeah. Katya's does awesome with that. And even today, like she asked for like certain access to things, and I was like, you're gonna need a code from me to get into this one, so text me first. Today she texted me, hey, are you available for a code? Yes, ma'am. Boom. We got her in, right?
So like in texting, just for most of our clients, texting works, but some are on WhatsApp, some are on Voxer, some use Slack in their business, right? So it's like we have to meet them where they are because if we're communicating over here and they're looking over there, like then again, communication falls apart and the bookkeeping sucks.
Yeah. What does it make sense for somebody to start considering outsourcing and bringing in a bookkeeper versus trying to play around with QuickBooks on their own? Because we all start doing it ourselves. What are the cues internally in a business that say, hey, you need a bookkeeper?
Are you making money? Then you need a bookkeeper.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like the minute you're about to hire employee number one, and I would say, Frank, unless you love accounting and are good at it and like actually understand it and know the difference between a balance sheet and a profit and loss and debits and credits and how to write a journal entry, like if you truly understand it and aren't going to screw it up and you love it, go for it. But in our businesses, like our time is precious and we all need to focus on maximizing these three things, which is you got to do what you love, right? Like you run your own business. You get to choose every single day. So if you find yourself working on something that you hate, you should probably find a way to delegate that. You got to do what you're really good at, right? And most of us didn't start our business because we're like, I'm really good at accounting. I think I'm going to go work on some gutters. Like,
Right.
rarely are gutter people going to be good at accounting. No offense to gutter people. And the last is, what are you going to get paid the most for? And I guarantee for anybody listening, they aren't going to get paid the most for doing their accounting, because
Right.
again, their customers and their employees don't care. They're going to get paid the most for selling huge
Let
products.
me preface this. I mean, and I'll go out there as Uncle Frank. I've been doing this a long time in the gutter industry, but as we all know, there's a lot of really stingy guys in the gutter industry, and they try to just be the chief, the cook, the bottle washer. They're going to do it all, figure it all out. They'll find an hour in a month and a monthly to do it, and it's too much, right? It's just too much, too fast. Honestly, could we even argue that maybe that's something that would hold you back from growth because you're?
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
Big time.
People in that mindset are disabling growth anyway, right? Because they're not willing to get out of everybody else's way and actually grow something. They have to be the person doing the thing, and until they change their mindset, bookkeeping or not, like, their mind is what is holding them back. They can't grow because they can't get out of somebody else's way and train them to do it. It's the person that posts on Facebook, nobody wants to work anymore. You can't find good help these days. But like, and I see it as part owner of a recruiting company. It doesn't mean nobody wants to work. It just means they suck at recruiting and they're not willing to learn how to get good at it. Because if they would, pull their head out of the sand and look around, there's a bunch of people running really good businesses, and I'm pretty sure they all have employees. And some have really good employees. In fact, a lot of really good employees. Like, they're out there and somebody's getting them. Like, if it's not you, you can post bitchy comments on Facebook, or you can like learn how to recruit and lead people.
For sure.
We got more questions. All right. So
fire away.
First one is, what about the AI bookkeeping things for $169 a month? Have you had to do a lot of cleanup from people who hired those companies?
Get at it, Dan. Shred it.
I mean, yes and no. I the most cleanup we need to do is when an owner tries to do their own books, or they give it to their sister-in-law, or like somebody, like those ones get really messed up. At least the AI knows accounting. What it doesn't really understand is the nuance of our industries. Like, it knows accounting the way accounting is taught. But honestly, when I hire bookkeepers, I usually have to untrain them from what they've been taught.
Right.
Like, there will just be stuff in the wrong spots because they don't understand the nuances. Again, back to like should they know the industry or should they know the geography?
Can you give us a nuance as a home services company? What's one nuance, just so we have like an idea of where you're going with that?
I mean, like, one thing we run into a lot is people syncing their CRM with QuickBooks, and they don't know why. They just know that when they log into their CRM, it says put in your QuickBooks username and password. They don't understand that a CRM is accrual basis, and generally for most of us, our QuickBooks should be in cash basis. And now you have two different languages. They don't understand that now your data is going to get duplicated, and the AI doesn't know what to do with it either. Like, it's not smart enough to know what's going on in your CRM, and so all it sees is the transactions coming in. It doesn't have the wherewithal to match them or ask the right questions. Not saying it won't, and that's a thing your bookkeeping company should do, right? Like, you should hire people to use the AI. You shouldn't be the one babysitting the AI that does your books, because you don't know accounting, right? Yeah. Like, AI is super useful, but you still have to understand what it's supposed to be doing, so you know the prompts and how to make sure that it's going down the right path. QuickBooks has a ton of AI. QuickBooks has a ton of like rule building things and automations. It does so much shit in people's books that screw it up. Like, it like QuickBooks payroll is the worst. It'll jack up a set of books real fast. Right. And so like, because it's smart, it knows too much and it starts trying to do stuff, but it doesn't have the skill set to actually problem solve and understand what the person's trying to do, because the person doesn't know what to tell it that it's trying to do. Right. So the AI just does accounting stuff, and it just creates a mess.
That's right.
Got it.
Okay. And then Ricky Sains, I think I said his last name.
What's up, Ricky?
He asked a question. If you were to jump into someone's business, what would be immediate things you would look for in the books to increase profitability the first 60 to 90 days? When you jump into someone's business.
Immediately, it's cost of goods sold, which is all of your direct production related costs. It's your direct labor. It's fuel to get out to the job, and damages and repairs and stuff that happens at the job site, supplies, materials, tools, and equipment. If I see that somebody's COGS is percentage-wise off versus what their industry should perform as, and for a lot of us in trades and in home services, it should be around 50% or better. Some industries maybe a little bit higher, some maybe a little bit lower, but around half of our job ticket will go to pay for the things we need to do to complete the job.
And let's be clear. So in gutter, Frank, you can chime in on this too. For gutter, that is my sales commission, that is my materials, that is my technicians, and actually my production manager, his bonus is in there as
So
well.
they say sales commission is debatable, right? That's the one where some people include it and some don't. For me, it's materials and labor. You know, the actual cost to install it and the materials, all the materials used.
Yep.
I don't put the sales commission in there only because I view them as an administrative function.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't want my production manager responsible for their bonus structure. Like my ops manager is responsible for cost of goods sold and gross margin. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have your sales commission. Right. There's 1,000 different ways to run a business.
Oh yeah. Right.
But I'll put my salespeople either with my admin team, because that admin team is responsible for growing revenue. Like that is their job. If my salespeople are out getting their own leads, knocking doors, doing that, I might even put them in marketing. In our window cleaning business that I work in Minnesota, I still facilitate and CFO with my old business. We put our salespeople in marketing because we expect them to go generate their own leads. And so it's a trade-off between spending more on Google ads.
You know, the way I run my business, I'm a paper contractor. So I have dedicated subcontractors. That's easy. They're 1099. That's my labor force. Front office, administrative, sales, that's those are all W-2s. I have 8 employees that are in-house, but those fall on the other side of it. So, I take care of that on gross profit.
Yep. Now, I want to play not devil's advocate. For my business, it's very, very rare that we don't sell a job and pay commission on it, because the only time that happens is if I sell it, or if it's like a return customer that calls the office and says, "Hey, you guys did this thing.
You got the job.
Yeah, just come do it." Okay. So it's very, very rare. 99% of our jobs we pay commissions on. All right. So, but also I want my sales team in charge of COGS, right? That's important to me. And my sales manager is
to price
focused on that, right? So it's got to be priced right. And so my sales manager is hell-bent on hitting, our target is 60% gross.
Yeah.
So,
there's no right or wrong answers with that, right? No one's right or wrong in where they place the sales commissions on what side of that.
Yeah. And to what you just said, Colin, if your sales commissions are in there, it just means your percentage has to include that, whatever that sales commission is. And then as long as you're measuring it consistently, your bar isn't changing. Right.
Right.
But back to Ricky's question, if I'm looking at somebody's books and I'm looking to see if they're winning or not winning, the first thing I always look at is COGS. Because if their COGS is off, it's really clear they're either not charging enough, right? They maybe, this happens a lot when people first start out and they charge enough to put money on their plate, but they don't charge enough to run a business. And so then they start doing more and they start hiring people and they're like, "Oh shit, there's no money left." Right. And so then they have to figure out, I actually need to price at the market. I thought all these other guys were overcharging and I told everybody else they were overcharging, but it turned out I was just being a dummy. I was undercharging. I need to the market has already set the price. Right. And so if I see their COGS is jacked up and is way too high, there's a good chance they're not charging enough. The second thing would be their labor's not efficient enough. And sometimes that comes from they pay hourly.
That's right.
But they don't charge their customer hourly. So they have a risk mismatch, right? They
carrying costs are eating them alive.
That's good. A risk mismatch. I haven't heard that before. I hope everybody listening heard those words. Risk mismatch. You're taking the risk versus your employees or your customers or anybody. Nobody's taking the risk except for you.
And it ends up I'm a huge, like I said earlier, my whole bookkeeping team is paper performance because they have to do awesome. And if Colin leaves us, Katya needs to hurt. It's her job to make sure his books are awesome. And if he leaves, she loses that revenue too. Right. And it's really important to create win-win situations, especially with a production team. Paper performance is awesome because you either win together or you lose together.
Yeah, when you set that up, you basically get a collective of winners, right? You're going to get an A team, high performing. Everybody wants to be there. They look out for one another. They support one another. It's not everybody out for themselves only. It's a brilliant way to run a business.
Yeah. And as a nerdy finance dude, mathematically it like locks in
Clean.
your costs.
Oh yeah, you know what you're getting every time, right?
And if that's dialed in, like we all have, I mean, again, I said earlier, like we're just all in the business of making decisions, and that decision is the most active one, right? Like that's happening every day. It's nonstop. And if you can make that thing just hum and you don't need to think about it because the process is built and the math works every time, no matter what, all of a sudden you have so much more room for activities. Right, like your brain can think about marketing and sales and growth and partnerships and whatever else. Like you're not worried about how long did it take us to do that job today, right? Like the concern kind of goes away. The employees take care of that concern for you.
Well, it's the way I view performance-based pay and whatnot is that's another decision I don't have to make. That's another thing I don't need to think about because I don't need to worry about how long it takes them on the job. Mm-hmm. I know no matter what, my gutter crew's making 10% of that job. Boom, it's done.
Done.
And
well, I mean, so basically,
my guys making $1,500 to $2,500 a week.
It's as effective as me as a paper contractor, right? For me to use subcontractors, like Dan said, I know immediately before I even sell the job what my fixed earnings are. I know exactly what I'm going to make. Nothing could disturb that. Be short of a mistake on my end, I miss something. And now I need to pay for more materials and more labor. But if I know what I'm doing and everything's set, I know exactly what my hard costs are, and nothing will change that. With W-2, if they don't want to grind it out that day and get the job done, slow down, guys. Frank will send us back here tomorrow. Don't worry, we don't have to finish today. No. Who loses in that? Just Frank, because now I have to push off the scheduled job for tomorrow because you didn't finish today, send you back there. You guys are getting paid by the hour. You don't care. But I get hit because I'm not getting my hands on the next project's payday.
And the inverse is true too. If they haul ass and get a job done in one day that should have taken two, well, now Frank wins and they lose, and that's pretty stupid too.
Well, that's why performance pay, kicks in and kickers and bonuses, and I think that's critical. Really, you have to have checks and balances in all of this.
Yep,
very much, very much.
Can I ask a question? And this is, we do about $4 million. We're at a crossroads now where in the last time goes so fast now. Maybe I assigned the bookkeeping 4 years ago, where I gave it to the accountant. So they do the bookkeeping and the accounting.
Yep.
I don't know if that's too dangerous. So that's one question. Like, is church and state in the same basket problematic where I might be getting beat? Number one. Number two, because, if I have, and then, I guess, so the second phase is, let's say I give you the bookkeeping. Will you do an audit out of the gate and say, hey, look, this is how it's been done. This is how they've been doing it. Not for me to go yell and create an argument, but find through an audit, kind of like, hey, there were some problems here. They've been doing things wrong. The money buckets are misassigned. I don't like the way that the balance sheet looks. This is what we're going to do to change that. And then away you go. You and I engage, and you take But do you do like an audit out of the gate to kind of let me know, hey, there are some problems here. We have to make some changes for you.
Yeah. So to answer the second one first, hell yeah. Because if I don't, who knows what the hell we're going to get ourselves into. So and I'll use Colin as an example. Like we went through this, and I had send me your QuickBooks because I want to see what we're getting ourselves into. And I need that data to come up with a price anyway. So I'll pull the data and come up with a price, but then I'm going to scrub the balance sheet. Because generally if there might be some stuff on the P&L, like, oh, this could go here and this could go here. We're going to do immediately when we bring on a new business, like we are going to set their chart of accounts up for industry specific, like this is how this needs to be grouped and measured for analysis, not so your taxes can get done, but so you can analyze your business properly.
Yeah.
Like that's what bookkeeping is for. It's not your tax person can add stuff together and subtract stuff to get the taxes done. Bookkeeping is not a tax thing. It's an analysis thing. It's a finance thing. So we got to organize it to be able to do that, like to make it a useful tool. So yes, I will go through and actually like scrub that as part, like I'm the salesperson in our business. So I go through, scrub it, and basically say, Frank, here's the bullet points of everything that I see. I might not know exactly what's wrong with it, but like, I feel like I'm Neo reading the Matrix and you got the green things coming down and I'm like, here's the lady with the pretty red dress, right? Like I just look at the balance sheet. I'm like, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I know something's weird because there's no way that you have an ex-employee from 2021 that you still owe $3,000 to. I don't know why that's on your balance sheet.
Why wasn't that accounted for?
Right. Yeah. And if it's on the balance sheet, like people forget about it and it just gets lost. And if it's there, it means your P&L is wrong. Right. And so like, in order for us to start preparing good financials for people, we have to go clean that shit up because otherwise we're going to send them financials that are wrong. So we have to go clean stuff up first. So like before somebody even engages, I don't let them hire us until I can get them a price and I can send them the to-do list. And they'll always ask like, how much is it going to cost? And I'm like, I just don't know. There's no, cause like it's a ball of yarn. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know if a week from now you're going to be like, oh, I forgot to tell you about these 3 other credit cards.
Right. Let me open up this closet full of skeletons.
Yeah. I mean, we had one guy that's like, I got these 4 credit cards. By the time we actually like got through onboarding, he had 14 credit cards.
Holy smokes.
I'm like, man, like I can tell you 13 things you can do immediately to make your business.
Snip.
Yeah. Like I got 13 of them. To the second question of like separation of church and state. Yeah. I don't think it's the end of the world to have your bookkeeping and your tax service in the same place, but it is bad. It is bad if there's not a division, like a segregation internally. Like the tax people should not be responsible for the bookkeeping. Again, bookkeeping is a finance thing. It's
they're not. It's 2 different,
it's like 2 different
entities
inside. What about payroll
houses?
I don't think you don't need anybody.
Not these days. We still do it ourselves internally. I mean,
I just started doing it myself again, and it's crazy simple. We use Gusto.
It is.
However it's said, but it's incredibly simple. And obviously, like my sales manager does commissions, and my production manager does all the performance pay for the texts and all that fun stuff. So I literally just get numbers, and I sit down with my office manager, and we pull all the spreadsheets, and everything's there, and put it in. But
type it in.
Yeah, it's simple.
Awesome. Yeah, you don't need to pay anybody to type it in for you. Well, you can pay an employee to type it in for you.
There you go. Right. So, but have you run across that where somebody was stealing, and how was that found? Like, how do you see when somebody's messing
up?
Payroll.
Yeah, I mean, like you always have your eyes out for it, and we've definitely seen some fishy things, and you can just see it in the percentages a lot of times. Like if something gets way off, you start peeling the layers of the onion back, and it gets pretty apparent pretty fast.
Right.
It's uncommon. Like most people are honest. We don't run into it a lot, but we're working on one right now where it's like the dude knew something fishy was going on, and we're just like keep peeling it back. Like we don't have the total yet, but like one of the dudes that had a card was spending money like on personal stuff and putting it, and he ran the books and was putting it down as like a distribution under the owner. And so like trying to figure out what was real and what wasn't real. So like definitely encountered it before. But here's the big thing about the distinction between the bookkeeping and the tax service. Like bookkeeping is an active analysis driven, like data for you to help you run your business. So super common communication, like super often communication, again, industry specific, so that when they're sending you P&Ls, like when we send Colin a P&L, we don't send them here's your profit and loss report from QuickBooks. Like we have an industry specific dashboard with percentages, and it's color coded. So like it looks like a report card, right? Here's how you're doing. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Here's the trend over time. Generally, tax people don't think like that. Tax people organize your QuickBooks like, here's how it needs to fit into our tax software. So here's how we're going to organize everything. And then, you want reporting? Here's your P&L report, and here's your balance sheet, and here's your cash flow statement. I'm going to download it from QuickBooks because apparently you're not capable of clicking that button. So I'll download it for you and email it over to you. Here you go, right? And they're like, we do reporting, but they don't tell you anything about it, right? They don't even know how to read it. Like they wouldn't know what to tell you about your business based on that. They'll say, here's how much you made, and here's how much you're spending, and here's how much net income you have, and you have some capital assets you got to buy too. So to me, again, the value of the bookkeeping is more like, and this is a thing we do for our clients. Once we get them cleaned up and out of onboarding, we record a video every month for them to do analysis. And it's not like I'm not going to go to Colin and be like, hey, it looks like you're spending a lot on marketing. If I were you, I would do more YouTube ads and less Facebook. Like we're not going to start giving recommendations. But if I see Colin spending a lot on marketing, I'm going to say, hey, Colin, looks like you're being really aggressive on marketing. Like, here's kind of industry standard. Here's where you're at. That's cool. Like, That's awesome. Be aggressive, right? Grow your business. That's fun. But if you're going to be aggressive, how do you know, like, are you measuring the hell out of it? Do you know your acquisition cost? Do you know your conversion rates? What's your ROI on that? Do you have it by source? Like, and so my account managers will do that. They'll do like a video at the end of the month, but they haven't run businesses like these, right? They are nerdy accounting finance people. And so their job is to read the P&L. Like, it's like nighttime, bedtime story. They'll put you right to sleep. They're going to read that P&L to you and say, like, here's what it says. And if you want help figuring out your marketing, here's Dan's calendar link. Like, I'll jump on and like do the CFO level stuff with our clients. I don't want my account managers to like stick their neck out and say like, oh, you should do less marketing or more marketing or whatever.
Right.
And then
but you want them to let us know, hey, your marketing spend is up 3% this month. Mm-hmm. Is that intentional? 3% when you're doing $500,000 months, that's a big chunk of change, right?
So that's some of the stuff that falls to the wayside on my reports. Is like the bookkeeper can't determine just by ripping through my business checking what spend was a true marketing spend. Like, did I run an ad? Like, if it says Google AdWords, all right, you know what it is. But if it's some random, maybe it was a digital artist that we use to render, ads or postcards or mailers or whatever, or it's a one-off, right? The first and last time you're going to use that third party.
That should have been included in their weekly check-in.
Where's my damn check-in? I'm mad right now. That's damn bookkeeping.
Sorry, Frank. Sorry.
Dan, we're talking.
It really
tomorrow,
is amazing.
Buddy.
It's truly amazing. So, we got another question. Ricky's dropping some fire questions.
Bring it, Ricky. Ricky Bauer.
Rick,
what financial mistakes do growing businesses make?
One of them, and Frank, we were talking about this before we even went live. One of them is they think they need to, like, they get a tax person, and then they get to tax time, and they're like, "Oh, I made money. I need to buy stuff to save on my taxes."
Yeah, it's the oldest gag, right?
And
what do you need in the business?
Everybody listen. All right, everybody listen. Yeah. It is now time for you to feel guilty for going and buying a new truck last month. All right, so listen up.
I mean, you might have needed a new truck. Maybe you needed a new truck. But I'm gonna do some nerdy math stuff in a second. But most tax people are pretty lazy, and they won't meet with you throughout the year. They won't do, as we were talking about earlier, like any strategy related stuff. I put that in air quotes because I think it's them trying to sell you some shit. But like, there are things you can do proactively. There are tactics you can do, right? The law is out there. It's not a secret. Like, nobody's hiding it from you.
Right.
You need somebody that understands it and isn't going to like put you in jeopardy, but takes advantage of what you can take. It's like golf, right? Like, you got to know when you get a free drop. You got to
you need to know the rules.
When you get a breakfast ball.
You can't be competitive if you don't know the rules.
And you're like, the lazy tax person will say like, oh, it's December. You made a lot of money. You better go buy some stuff. And then in the future, they will show you how much money they saved you on taxes. They didn't save you money. All
of a sudden, you have a new loan. You're in debt now.
Yeah, like it's no different than if your wife goes shopping and buys a bunch of shit that's on sale and comes back and is like, "Hey, Frank,
but I got it real cheap.
Look at how good of a deal I got." And you're like, "Honey, like, you're going broke saving money. Like, you still spent the money. Like, the money 100%. Is gone still." And so, like, spending money to save on taxes is hilarious. It's asinine. Like, you're still out the money. You have less money. I grew up in central Wisconsin around a bunch of farmers. Most of them are broke. They all have new tractors, new silos, new whatever, but they all live in shambles. They're all broke.
All right, so that's making new purchases, right? Acquiring new assets. However, come December 1st, if you have liabilities, people you owe, bills to pay, there's nothing wrong with dumping what you might be sitting on and checking, pay your bills down, and try to drain that account, right? So you're not rolling into the end of the year with tax liability on what you have in savings or in checking. But that's different, right? That's not going out and buying something. Hopefully you fill the coffers, the first week of January.
Yeah, and if you are going to go buy stuff, buy stuff that you know you're going to use, right? Like, load up on some materials if you know you're going to need them. Pay your marketing company in advance, right? Like, a lot of your vendors would be happy to pay those taxes for you to guarantee that they have your business for the next year or whatever. Right. So, like, don't be shy of that, but like, don't go buy a big truck for your ego if you don't actually need a new big truck. Like, here's math that nobody actually really thinks about, which is, let's say you go, and I know trucks are more expensive than this, but just for shit's sake, let's say you go buy a $50,000 truck. Like, okay, and let's say you financed all of it. You didn't even have any cash out of pocket. There's no out of pocket spend. Like, you didn't save $50,000 on your taxes. Your tax rate, your incremental tax rate, let's say it's 20%. Okay, so you saved $10,000. Well, you didn't actually save $10,000 because if you bought that truck in January, well, then you would have saved the taxes in a year. So all that happened is you moved $10,000 forward by a year. Right. And now we're talking time value of money. $10,000 this year versus $10,000 next year. The value of that is zero unless you generate a return on it, right?
Yeah, there's so many complexities too, because I mean, Colin and I talk about private equity. Mr. Fasikas and I are going to have a call tomorrow. A lot of guys, I'm a elder statesman in this, and I get knocks on the door to sell out. So every once in a while, every couple of years, I'll entertain it, and we'll look at the numbers and we'll run it through the machine and see, what the multiple is currently and what EBITDA is, right? And that's the other thing. You start dumping off all of what you've made. You're messing with EBITDA. You're messing with revenues for the year. And sometimes you need those numbers to try to flex to show 12 months trailing or the last 3 years to say, I have a viable business, instead of saying, look, I got all these goddamn trailers in the yard with gutter machines.
Check out my sweet assets.
Yeah. No one gives a shit about your assets at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like from a mistakes people make, I think that's one of them is they get tricked into spending money to try to save money. And then like, if
that's a good one, Dan.
If they're up north in the winter, like you're going to be slow in January and February, and all of a sudden March comes and you're like, like now I'm super broke. Right. So I think that's a big one. The other one I mentioned earlier is they just don't charge enough because they think pricing is a thing where you look at your costs and the costs add up and you add a margin to it and that's your price. No, the market already dictates the price. The price is already out there. You need to talk to smart people and good competitors and figure out what the market is willing to pay for the thing. And maybe if you're just learning, you're not going to charge a premium price, but like your price isn't based on your costs. Your costs are based on your price. Like you start with the price. This is what I charge per foot. If you can do it for cheaper, then you get the benefit of it. Your client doesn't get the benefit of it. Like the market price is the market price. So I see a lot of people work up prices and then think like, okay, I pay this for materials and I pay this for labor. Therefore, here's my price. And they never look at what the market actually is willing to pay. And a lot of times they undercut the price and then point to the guy that actually charges the right market rate. And it's like, that guy's ripping you off. It's like, no, he just knows what the market price is.
That's the insanity. That's the insanity when we hear things come full circle. Colin and I may be on groups and we're talking about what rates we get. And it's like, you're ripping people off. It's like, did I just hear that? I mean, that's absolute insanity. It's an open market. It's whatever someone's willing to pay. And that's it. And it's not a sucker's born every day. It's not that. It's just there's a spectrum. I'd rather be on the high end of the spectrum.
I take the total opposite end. And I'll be like, no, you're ripping people off. What are you talking about? I'm a quarter of your price. Yeah, that means your guys are making a quarter of the money that my guys are. That means
you're hurting your own
hiring
team.
a quarter of the people that I am. That means your family's making and living off of.
Tommy Mello says the same stuff. That's the performance pay, methodology and the explanation. Exactly. I mean, it's so simple. Right. Why do you hate your people so much? Why are you starving them out?
Right. Yeah. No. And you wonder why you have to hire new technicians every 6 months.
Good point.
Yeah. There it is.
I got one other one, like a super, super common mistake. And this one kind of happens when people hit I'll say like 200,000 in revenue. And then after that, they better have this figured out, which is you got to get taxed as an S corp. Like we all start LLC tax sole prop, but then all you take is distributions. You don't take a paycheck. And so you start scaling a business that doesn't pay a wage to the most expensive person, which is you. And you start scaling and then you go to replace yourself, right? You replace yourself with a technician in the field. You replace yourself with a salesperson, an admin person, whatever else. Well, none of them are going to work for free. I have found this to be almost 100% true. There's only one person on the planet that will actually work for you for free. It's your mom. It's your mom.
Yeah.
Not your dad. Like rarely would.
No, he doesn't. He wants a check.
Yeah, he would ask for double pay. Your mom's so guilty, right? They got the mom.
Pay me on time too.
But like you should not work for yourself for free. And that's part of the purpose of being taxed as an S corp is you save yourself a bunch on payroll taxes, you start making money. But I think it's really important that you realize as you're growing a business that you are two different people. You are an operator and you are an owner. You are not an owner operator. Like, it is not one word.
Ooh, that's good.
It's
That's
an
good.
operator that gets a paycheck, right? If you are the CEO of Amazon, if you're Jeff Bezos, you get a paycheck. You have a salary. You have a bonus structure. If you're an owner of Amazon, like any of us could be an owner of Amazon. If I own shares in Amazon, they are not going to call me this weekend and be like, hey, Plata, we got a bunch of boxes down at the warehouse. We need you to come on down and move a bunch of stuff. Hold on. I got my admin assistant showing up.
Hey, what's up?
Did you lose your tooth? Oh, man, I wanted to knock it out.
Tooth fairy time.
My 7-year-old is losing teeth right now, too.
They're all falling out, man. They're all
That's
right.
time.
It's probably all the sugar from Christmas.
That's it,
Nice
man.
work.
Catching up.
All right.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Ciao. Dad's doing a great job, by the way.
Hey, shut that door. See ya. You can tell my kids are mine. Like, in general, we don't really know if our kids are ours, right? Like, we don't know. Like, we know they're our wives.
Sometimes
we don't know if they're ours. But then when I hear how loud and obnoxious they are, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely my kid.
That's my kid.
But I think it's so important being taxed as an S corp, getting yourself on payroll, partially for the payroll tax savings, but probably more fundamentally that we're aware that we are both an operator who needs to get a paycheck, because again, nobody else is going to work for you for free, and you fool yourself if you don't take a paycheck because your P&L looks better than it really is, because you're not paying the operator. Like, and again, nobody else would work.
You're gonna have to put somebody in that role if you want to slide out. If you're gonna sell that to somebody. Somebody needs to fill those shoes. So that's coming off of the EBITDA spreadsheet, you know?
Exactly. And you're an investor. You're an owner. Owners don't invest and not get a return. I mean, we all do for a period of time. Like, that's investing, is you put the money up first and hope to get it later. But like, as the owner, that doesn't mean you have to show up to work, right? If I own Amazon stock, they are not going to call me tomorrow. I am not going to get a paycheck. I'm going to get a dividend in the mail when it's profitable. And when we are a business owner, it doesn't mean we have to work there. Ideally, we're trying to grow this business so we don't need to work there, so that we can hire all the positions. It still needs to send us the profit in the form of a distribution.
We got a question on this. How much should I be paying myself as the owner and founder? And Ricky, I won't miss your question. I'll get to that one.
I have an answer on that.
Hit it.
Because I just went through this with private equity. It's very important. I mean, you can pay yourself whatever you want, right? But if you're building and scaling in such a way that you can exit the company, or, you know, retain the company but no longer work for it, you know, own it but not work in it, you need to pay what they call fair market, right? It's got to be realistic and real. If you're in a sales role, pay yourself, you know, you could pay yourself commission. If you're the CEO of a company that does $4 million, you could justify $180,000, $200,000. That's okay. But you have to pay according to the role you play and your contributions, because it's got to be a number that makes sense. If we pull you out and extract you from the business, who we plug in would need to make that money.
Exactly. If you want to think about it in percentage terms, and like, this is an observation of mine, like of running my businesses, but also working with all of our businesses, because this is like something I'm working on with all our clients. This is a perpetual discussion. And it kind of goes like, when you first start out and you're in that 0 to 500,000, let's say, or 200 to 500,000, like that's when you first kind of S corp yourself. Generally, you're taking like 15% of your revenue as a wage. But it's because you're the lead tech, you're the customer service, you're the salesperson, right? Like, you're paying yourself for quite a few jobs. When you're in the 500,000 to $1 million, you pay yourself about 10% of the revenue. When it starts going above that, it gets to 7.5%. And like you just said, Frank, when you're at 4 million, it's probably like 5%. So like, the percentage scales down. And the reason it does is because, to what you said, Frank, per the IRS, like, your wage has to be reasonable. Ideally, though, mathematically, the lowest you can pay yourself reasonably is better for taxes. Like, you pay less in payroll taxes. So this is like the conundrum we all have to work through, which is why there's not like a perfect answer. Is ideally we want to pay ourselves the least amount possible, because that saves us money on payroll taxes. It has nothing to do with income taxes, just payroll taxes. But we want to like buffer with a higher wage to make sure we can afford to pay the next person when we fire ourselves, right? When we pay the next operator of this business. So like, it's a weird needle to try to thread. Like I said, it kind of goes like 15, 10, 7, 5, and just like percentage wise works its way down a little bit.
Right.
What report should we be reviewing monthly to grow, not just file taxes?
I mean, like, there's metrics, right? And then there's financials. I look at my P&L at least. I mean, like, I'm looking at it every freaking day because I can't help myself. But like, organized in a specific way that it's kind of like a report card. P&L for sure. That is like how you
Profit
did
and loss. Okay.
point A and point B.
Yep.
And I think we should
Balance
look at.
sheet.
I think we should look at the balance sheet monthly to make sure nothing is weird out there. Like, everybody goes like, what's a balance sheet? It's very simple. It is the net worth of the business, right? Think about it this way. Like, think about your personal net worth. Okay. Like, we all understand that it's everything we own minus whatever we owe against it, right? And the money that's left over is our personal net worth. The balance sheet, we should just call it business net worth. That's really what it is. It's everything that your business owns, from what's in the checking account, the savings account, and the accounts receivable, the trailers, the vehicles, the equipment, whatever, minus all the loans we have, anything that we owe against it, and the upcoming payroll and whatever else. What's left of that is called equity. The difference between our personal net worth and the business's net worth is the business net worth has a hole in it, and it's you. Because the business net worth drains out into your personal net worth, like eventually distribution, right? But I think the balance sheet is worth looking at to make sure that there's nothing weird out there, that there's not something out there where you're like, what the hell's that? Because if there's something out there that is, oh, what the hell's that? It means your P&L is wrong. Like, if that's true, it should be over there.
The internet, Instagram, all these feeds, right? They're just saturated with all this data and all these opinions and all these so-called experts. What do you say about? And I was looking at something, and unequivocal, irrevocable trust as the owner of the S corp, not you personally, as a tax strategy.
I'm not.
It's wild. It's obviously ties that money up.
I'm set up very similar to that.
Are you?
Yeah. I personally, Colin DeHaan, own nothing. Well, I still own some stuff. I haven't done, like, my estate and everything's not in the trust yet. But so my trust owns a holding company or multiple holding companies, which own the operating entities. I wouldn't recommend it.
It's very complex.
It's very complicated. It's very complex, right? When I did it, when I had my 16 businesses, and that made sense then for legal protection and everything.
Right.
But when I simplified everything and sold and exited and whatever down to these three, it's just complicated. So
we're about to go C Corp. I have my two bigger. I have 4 LLCs. The two major ones that run the home improvement side of my business were set up on purpose because I didn't know which one was going to accelerate and take off. Maybe we package it, sell it off. I'm in, some interesting niches, right, with drainage, right? The drainage, particularly stormwater. But we're running it as a family operation, and it turns out, as things are, we play back and forth between the customer bases. We share the same customers. It's such a beautiful back and forth that now we've got to this point where it's like, why do we have 2 separate LLCs, 2 separate sets of books?
Yeah, it's really 2 divisions of the same business.
Oh, yeah, all the complexities and costs tied to that. 2 separate insurance policies, general liability and workers' comp. One of the companies is licensed and insured in 2 different states, Connecticut and New York. So that's like triple on the insurance. So we're like, whoa, we just went through the private equity, a whole 3 rounds of that, and exited. We were able to exit the deal. We didn't take it. It was a pretty juicy deal, but we got away from it. And we're happy that we did. We're going to make another push on our own. But now we're like, let's just merge everything. This is just, we overcomplicated it for the right reasons. But now the idea is C Corp, and we're not going to dissolve the LLCs. We're going to hold them so that they're skeleton LLCs, save the names, protect the names, somebody doesn't swoop in and use them. But all the books will be merged as a C Corp. Also, from a resale perspective, you go 3 years, I think you save 50% on federal taxes on the sale of the business. If you wait 5 years as a C Corp, you pay 0.
Oh, damn.
And I was looking at, millions of dollars in taxes. Millions. Almost $2 million in tax. And I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not. I'm going to get smoked on this.
Yep.
So these little things, right? But they all add up.
There's a lot, I just did there's so much in tax. I'm working on Lead Spotter and Client Cascade, and we got to get the LLC stuff all set up. And so I called my CPA, or my tax strategist, and I was like, "Hey, how should we set this thing up?" And he goes, "Well, what's the play with the software? Are you going to build it and use it, or build it and sell it? Like, what's your game plan?" I said, "Both. Build it, use it, and then sell it." And he goes, "Well, be optimistic with me." And so I threw some numbers out, and he was like, "Well, Colin, there's a special way we can set this up where all three of you," so it was me and two other partners in this thing, "all three of you own this in a trust. And with this trust, you and all of your kids get a $15 million tax, not credit, but tax. Like, you don't have to pay taxes on it, right?" And I was like, "What?" And like, one of the partners has 4 kids, and he's like, "Ooh, that's pretty nice." So I'm like, so if this thing were to sell for $500 million, right, between all of us, we're looking at like $220 million worth of tax-free income. And it's like, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So the code is written for us to not exploit, but to use.
That's right.
So there's a lot there, but there was
let me hit on one thing, because again, I get like asked about the roles and like what's the difference between bookkeeping and taxes and that sort of thing, and most tax people don't understand that world, and I wouldn't pretend to be like the corporate structure guru either, right? Like, I know what I know from doing deals that I've done and working with clients that I've worked with, but like, that is a specific financial planning skill set. It starts to get into that personal financial planning space. And as business owners, like, I'm a finance dude. I have a financial planner, right? Like, we're there. They live in that world, just like I live in the world of P&Ls and small businesses and what ratios your P&L should be in and like how to read that.
Right.
I'm a finance dude, and I have a finance guy that I go to when we start talking about business, like, and it all plays together, right? Like, I know enough about, I'm not the tax dude, but
It's
I
like
know
the proctologist has a GI doctor,
Yeah, like,
you're going to specialize in a niche. You don't know it all.
yeah, and you don't want a person that's like, we're the one-stop shop, right? It's like, that scares me a little bit, because it's like, I need the person that gets the bookkeeping and the finance thing. I need the person that gets the tax thing, and I need them to like hold each other accountable, because this guy might see what this guy doesn't, and vice versa. And then I need the person that sees the business structure, financial.
Well, that's why I was saying the church and state concept. Like, it just, sometimes for me, it feels a little too close to home. Not that they're like doing me dirty, but it's easy for one division inside that accountancy firm to kind of
they're not
brush things under the rug for the other one.
Blow each other.
Yeah, totally.
Like, hey, let me tell you what our other guy over there did. They're gonna be like, ooh, let's move this around.
Well, so and just to get personal, like I just had a conversation 3 days ago. We went back and forth in the group email. I'm like, all right, it's a new year. We had a meeting a month ago. I told you we're dialing things up. We're going to go C Corp. What do we need to be doing right now? Because I'm not convinced the bookkeeping is as dialed in as I want it to be. So he brought in the bookkeeper on the email, the head accountant, and he said, "Okay, Diane, he says, Frank, obviously the first thing I want you to do is just make sure you're running real clean books." I said, "All right, stop right there. I want you to define clean to me. Define clean to me, and tell me what's not clean. And let's take it a step further. Let's have Diane, the bookkeeper, tell me what might be coming through as a business expense that should not be, that you guys are reallocating as a personal expense. Show me those." What does she do? She takes 2 days. She comes back. I think it was this morning. I haven't responded yet. I've been busy today. She sends an email and she says, here are all the 1099s. She starts talking about how she allocated payments, but like she written checks and large sums. I'm talking about credit card charges and ATM, bank cards, like any kind of card processing at a gas station or a Amazon or, a bill pay, that type of thing. Yeah. But she kind of deferred. She stepped away from the question. She sidestepped it. I'm not going to, she's going to get it tomorrow.
She a politician?
Man, she should be. Like she knows what I'm talking about here, you know. Like let's get down to the brass tacks on, you know, what's clean, how are we allocating company spending, right? Is it a marketing expense? Is it a business expense? Or is it a Frank Heneghan expense? Right? This is what I'm trying to shake out and discern.
Right.
So we're gonna get to the bottom of this, but I need somebody that kind of knows how to lay that out nice. We won't use tax strategist as a term. We'll come up with something else.
It's a tacticist.
Tactician.
There you go.
Taxidermist.
And then you got your taxidermist. Yeah, there's a lot of taxidermy.
I love it. I know you guys, both of your brains are always on that taxidermy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're either talking about the heads or the butts, you know. That's just kind of how I roll.
I know it's for dinner, a little venison.
There you go. That's all my freezer's full of that and a bunch of chicken.
We had leftovers today, but it was venison crock pot lasagna. Highly recommended.
Sounds really good.
Ooh, send me that recipe.
It doesn't have to be venison, but it's 10 times better if it is. But also, like crock pot lasagna, y'all didn't know. You don't need to do like the boil the noodles ahead of time and lay them all out. Like everybody loves lasagna, but it's such a pain in the butt to make. Nah, you don't need to do that. You don't even need to do that.
Soft, right?
Send that to me. My wife was just complaining tonight about having to make dinners and always think about what's for dinner, and so my son and I just threw a bunch of ideas at her, and all of them had venison in it, you know. So, but this one sounds way simpler.
You got sloppy doughs, you got tac doughs, you got enchiladas, you got spaghetti doughs. Yeah, we got all the doughs in the house here.
Very nice.
That's all I shot all year. So yeah. But right on.
Well, so for all you kids at home, obviously Dan sounds like he knows what he's doing here. Personally, Dan, I'm coming at you. We'll have a private call. I'll give you a peek under the skirt, and I want your opinion. And honestly, you do right by me, and you know, I'll sing your praises, brother. Like, you know, if I have to trust guys at home, you should too. Colin, how long have you been working with Dan?
Actually, not that long, only like 3-4 months, but I've known Dan for years.
I was just saying, we're on round 2 because back in my old business, we worked together, and I mostly like it was mostly Megan and I working together, but like you and I were on some calls together, and then we basically got Megan positioned to be able to like take it over. So I think you guys took it back over for a period of time back then.
Right.
Full circle. Here we are back, back and better than ever.
Yes.
Very cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, we had left because I brought an in-house bookkeeper, and so.
Dan,
you don't need that anymore.
What trade shows are you at? Where can people find you?
I'm trying to do less because I've got 3 little kids, and obviously they want my attention because she came back in here and gave me a little piece of licorice. Like, this is it. This is all I get.
Well, you better have your wallet handy too, because you got some tooth fairy business to be doing.
My wife is the fairy of the household. She handles fairy business.
Yes.
I've got 3 trade shows coming up, none gutter specific, but I've got a maid service one. I've got a landscape lighting one. I've got a commercial pressure washing one. Cool. They're all, and it's like trade show season, right? The challenge I have is trade shows either seem to be during ice fishing season or during like
problems, right?
They got it. And so I've tried to limit my travel as much as possible. And so when I go to a trade show, I kind of only go if I know who's running it, and I'm only like, I got to speak. I love getting up on stage and speaking. I don't know if Colin mentioned you. I thought you were going to mention earlier, but like my shtick is like, I don't care if it's 8 a.m. I get up on stage and crack a beer. First thing that I do. Like, and I have it on my koozie. Got my koozies, and the bottom says, "We make bookkeeping not suck." Because like, life is too short. Businesses, like, we run our own businesses, you guys. We get to have fun all the time if we want to. Like, it's a show.
You're right.
You don't, like, bookkeeping doesn't have to suck. We can make it fun, and we can, like, enjoy the process of it instead of dread it. So that's my gimmick. But, like, anytime I'm at a trade show, it's because I believe who's running the trade show, and I'm there to support them and their audience and whatever they got going on. So
are you at Ryan's?
Going to Ryan's. Yeah, I coach for Ryan.
I can imagine you and him would be so much fun in the same room. I know it's happened. I've been there, but not like I wasn't a part of those conversations. So I got to imagine you both of your personalities in the same room would just be off the chain. So maybe I need to go to his.
We're like a couple goofballs, but we couldn't be more different, but yet like different in that like yin and yang sort of way. Like it molds well together.
Yeah. Right. Maybe I'll have to go to Landscape Lighting Secrets. Lighted, what does he call it? Landscape Lighting Secrets.
Lighted, I think it's Lighted Up Expo is like the name of the event that he does for Landscape Lighting Secrets. But if there's a show you think I should be at, just let me know. I have this thing that I have found that I'd recommend this for anybody that's married, which is as long as you get it on the calendar far enough in advance, it feels like it's not real yet. If I'm getting stuff out there like 4, 5, 6 months in advance, upwards of a year, if it's as long as it's out there on the calendar, I get like zero pushback because my wife is like, yeah, as long as I know it's happening,
there, right,
I can plan on it. Like I got all 3 kids, I got my mom's around, I can do whatever. If it's like, hey Marty, next week I'm going here, like there's a really good chance I'm sleeping outside.
yeah.
Like just
smart, you're smart.
We can make it happen. We can make anything happen.
There's a paper calendar in my fridge, and that's the rules in my house. And she's not always great with it. I'm horrible with it. But when she skips, it's like she gets away with it. If I miss something on that calendar, it's curtains for me.
You got hell to pay.
And by the way, I better get on that calendar when I get home tonight because I have a lot of things coming up in the next couple months.
We'll send you some text messages to remind you. You got to start scribbling on there. It's like a race. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like a race to like get something on the calendar. Like, ooh, I better get this one blocked off because otherwise they're going to try to block something off.
Well, Colin, we're definitely going to have Dan at our show, right?
Yeah.
Send me some dates. Send me some dates.
As soon as we have them.
Right on.
As long as it's not during ice fishing season or
we learned our lesson.
Maybe we'll do it during ice fishing season and we'll get a massive shanty for the event. How's that sound?
I like it. I got one today. I got like the business owner event in February coming up. I rented an 8-man. I think it's like 30 some feet long. Just a big ass boat out there. Like sleeps. It's like a tent. An 8-man fish house sleeps 5 guys maybe. Doesn't sleep 8. Got to have somewhere to like store all your beer and all the gear and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Very drinky in those, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's
you got to
just
stay warm somehow.
Well, they got furnaces in them. Like in reality, I have to go. I bought a new one that I have to go get tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see what I bought. No, a new fish house. Oh. The new ones come with 2 furnaces. Frank, there's a furnace in the front, furnace in the back.
One for each seat.
I didn't. Now you need to understand the type of frugal guy that I am. Because mine only has 2 TVs in it, and it doesn't. This is no joke. It doesn't have the fireplace or the wine rack.
You really been skimping, man. You're
I am a frugal. And funny thing is, like, geez, cross dog. This guy's too young to be my assistant, but here we go.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, killer? Oh, hi. That's my face. Yep, you got me. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Oh,
awesome.
Love you, man. Okay, go get him. Again, I don't like this. Bye.
Later.
They're definitely my kids. They're just super like they're just pumped. They're like a bunch of my in-laws won't watch pets. So we can't, like, I'm a total dog person. Like I grew up with labs, love labs, but my in-laws won't watch pets while we're gone, and we travel a lot and I hunt and fish a lot. So, like, our catalyst to having Crosby, who you just met, was like, well, can't get a dog.
Can't have dogs.
and I'll tell you what, like, you don't need a dog. That guy will eat anything off the floor. and you saw he's basically a Labrador. Like,
that's amazing.
It's actually better because his tail's not knocking shit off the table.
Right. He could speak. He could actually conversate.
Oh, that's good. That is awesome.
Style.
Animal.
Well, sweet. This has been awesome. I feel like we could go all night. But
yeah, very informative, Dan. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dan.
When there's clapping going on, Colin, I can't hear anything you're saying. I just see your mouth moving, and I'm like nodding my head like I hear you, but I can't hear anything you're saying.
Okay, well, we're going to have you back on in a couple months.
I'll be here.
Maybe like right after tax time. Let's do it then.
Well, when we have him on, we want to hear about all his new clients that he acquired in the rain gutter industry.
That's right. There's 3 or 4 people in the comments on the installers page already.
I'm going to race you guys. As soon as we get off here, I'm getting on the forum on his website. So,
I was going to say, get out. I know I don't have time tomorrow. There might be like 1 spot next week. This time of year just gets nuts because, right, everybody's trying to get their tax stuff done. And it's no, like, recruiting is kind of the same way. It's like, it's go time. Like, now's the time we need to be doing this thing. And so my calendar just goes like, brr. So I encourage you, if you do need help, like, get out to my damn website and grab a demo with me because it really does fill up. And I want to talk to whoever needs help.
Love it.
Let's go. Appreciate you, Dan. Thank you so much.
You bet.